Hey, it's Glenda, and I'm your coach. Welcome to wanting to live a beautiful, brave life and being just much more courageous in your life. In these vlogs, I talk about all of those kinds of things. What can you do to be braver? What can you do to be vibrant and alive and have energy and have clarity and master yourself so that you can have an amazing life? Tonight, I'm going to talk about being in a danger zone when you don't even know that you're in a danger zone. This has become abundantly clear to me. The more people that I work with is basically everybody wants the same kinds of things. They want to be loved. They want to feel safe. They want to contribute in some way in their life. People have big dreams as well. And as we're going through the process of life, we have all of these things that we start out with, these dreams, these ways if we want to contribute, these big ideas that we have for ourselves. And those are so awesome. They're so energizing. Don't you feel amazing when you have a really good idea and you know that you want to share something and you want to go out and do it? But then life happens. And you kind of get in a routine. You get into that place where you're like, you know what, I go to school, or I get up and I go to work and I do my thing and I clean the house and I take care of the kids and everything kind of ends up being in kind of this like comfortable place, where you kind of know what's coming, you know what the routine is, you know how much money you're going to make. And that can feel good. But here's where the danger zone comes in. When you get to that place where you're really comfortable and you know what's coming and everything's on an even keel, well, what happens is we stop challenging ourselves and we can end up getting in a rut. We can end up just feeling kind of like flat. And slowly our energy decreases. And then we end up in that question, that place where we wonder what happened and what we missed out on. So I don't want that for you. That has certainly happened for me. Before I actually switched my career to what I'm doing right now, I had an amazing career. I had built up this incredible clientele. I had an aesthetics business. I saw anywhere from like 3 to 10 people in a day doing different things, having different conversations, and taking care of them in a really unique way. And it was really good. But I could only take it so far. And there was something missing that I really wanted more of. But I didn't know how to get out of that comfortable zone because I knew what my income was. I knew who I was going to see, and it was good. It's not that it wasn't good. I knew all of these things, and it was predictable, and it was routine, and it wasn't bad. But step by step by step, I felt there was something missing, that there was something more for me. And man, was it tempting not to listen to that. It was so tempting because I was safe and I was secure. So does that happen to you? Where you're just like, you got this thing kind of niggling at you inside and you know that you want to go for it, but you can't really complain about what's going on in your life. Well, that is a big danger zone. And I don't want you to stay there because you will get to the end of your life and you will regret that you didn't do things differently, that you didn't have more, that you didn't contribute in the way that you had dreamed and imagined back in the beginning when you had all of those ideas and all of those things going on where you just felt so powerful and excited to go forward. So how do we move out of that comfort zone, out of that place where we've just got really okay with things, into that next place where we can have more and bigger things and we can contribute in more meaningful ways? it can feel really uncomfortable. It can feel really scary. And we could stop serving the world in the way that we were born to. You were born with some kind of incredible potential inside you. And when we settle for the status quo and for just keeping it at that level, we're doing a disservice to the world. You're doing a disservice to your family, and you're doing a big disservice to yourself. So here's what I want you to do to get out of that comfort zone, to challenge yourself, to have the life of a high performer. First of all, I want you to reconnect with that vision, that outcome that you had way back when you were jazzed and energized by what the possibilities were. I want you to reconnect with that, and I want you to imagine it in all its detail, that outcome that you want. Now I want you to sit down with a piece of paper, and I want you to think of the steps that you would need to take in order to get to that outcome. So right now, just sit down and write down those steps. Okay, that's the first thing you need to do. Because when you've written those steps down, now you can assess, what do I need to do? And you're not just living in here and imagining the bad things, the what ifs, and it could all go wrong, and I'm going to end up in the poorhouse, and I'm going to lose all my family, and all these other fears that come into play. And I've talked about fears in some of my other videos, so be sure to go and check some of them out so that you can hear what I have to say about those fears. So just write those steps down and get it out of your head. Then I want you to see and ask yourself, where do I need support? Who can help me? How can I share this with somebody so that I can get some other people on board? Now, here's another stumbling place in a danger zone when you do that, because sometimes the people that you most need to support you, they're not going to. They're going to be scared for you, and they're going to try and kill your dream. So I want you to make sure that you're going to get some support from people who are going to have your back. And that doesn't mean that you need to huck those other people out of your life or write them off because they're not supporting you. It just means until they know more, they're going to feel uncomfortable. So you have to get the support from somebody who can really help you, who can give you the skills to move you forward, who can celebrate you and cheer you on, and who can challenge you, because high performers and people that fulfill their dreams love a good challenge, and we need to put ourselves in challenges on a consistent basis, okay? So get the support you need to be challenging yourself and taking those steps towards that outcome that you want. And next, the most fun thing about this is you can gamify this. Humans, there's the other thing, we love to play, and we forget when we're adults that we are designed to play and have fun. So that is what you are going to do. You're going to step in and you're going to how can I have fun with this? How can I make a game out of this? How can I give myself some golden stars? I've got one client that I'm coaching, and he absolutely loves gold stars. And he loves those apps, where he can check off, has he got a streak going? And so we're always talking about that. It's like, okay, you want to do this thing? How can you gamify it? How can you get some stars? How can you check it off? Because that's motivating. So dig into what motivates you and gets you excited and helps you compete with yourself, and really go for it. And lastly, when you make those steps forward to doing what you want to do and getting out of your comfort zone and just dreaming big, I want you to celebrate. I want you to give yourself a darn good pat on the back, because guess what we also do when we're in a danger zone? We forget to acknowledge all of the stuff that we have done. Even when we're in that comfortable place and that good place, one of the reasons we feel a little bit dead about it is because we've forgotten. We've forgotten to celebrate and make a big whoop out of just how much we do in life, and how much we already contribute, and how much we already give, and how much we've already achieved. So celebrate those things, because when you celebrate them, you're encouraged to keep going forward. So that's what I have for you tonight. It has been super fun to share this with you. And honestly, when I first started making this video, I did about 8 takes beforehand, because I just wasn't quite nailing what I wanted to say, but here it is. That's exactly what I wanted to say. So I hope this has helped you and served you. And if you would like more, if you've liked this and you want more and you need more training and you're like, okay, Glenda, I'm going to start going for it because I need to. It's like, it's my time. Then I want you to go to my website, glendabennett.com, and I want you to get my free download called Be the Queen of Your Dreams. And in there, it's like a checklist, and a cheat sheet and a little workbook all together where you can start taking some of those steps forward towards something that you really want to do. So go and do that. And if you haven't joined my Facebook group yet, Courageous Souls, then please go and do that because there's going to be more training and stuff like that in there. And please share with your friends. Share the journey with somebody else, because when you have a friend on board, it is like, boo, the fireworks just start to go off and things really start happening. So that's it for you today. I will see you next week.